Hey everybody, welcome to Church versus the World, the channel where I talk about things that you and I might find interesting. Today we are going to be talking about the comparisons of this year to a video game. And the predictions on where the game might go from here. So I came into 2020, like most of you, hopeful that this was going to be my year. I mean, I was confident, I was happy, had everything going for me, everything was looking up. I was releasing a video every week, I was on my grind, I was making t-shirts, I was sure 2020 was going to be my year. So I was like every optimistic game to where you could rate your player. I was sitting at the bottom, fixing to figure out how to work my way to the top, like Grand Theft Auto style. And then it all happened. I mean, think about it. The start of your game is in this open world platform of an RPG. It's riddled with political mayhem, an impending virus that threatens the masses. You navigate through this sick infested world, collecting your coins and other collectibles known as a paycheck, and all your other loot from Amazon, only to figure out halfway through the level that you really need to collect all the toilet paper and canned goods you can find, and make sure every time you leave your home base you have your equipment, like your little inventory of hand sanitizer and a mask. And before the end of level 1, everyone already starts to find a weapon. I mean, you gotta have it whenever you're navigating through this crazy world. It's like the world's weirdest RPG ever. It makes no sense. I mean, you have, and depending on where you're joining the game from, you have all the little, like side quests and add-ons, like Australian wildfires and, I mean, murder hornets, and everyone just skipped that one. Not doing that shit at all. Like, that one could screw up the game, cause a lot of glitches, but we're just not going to handle, we're just going to let Tom play that one out and see what happens. 2020 is the strangest year I have ever lived through, and I am 30-something years old. What's really screwed up is at the end of stage 1, you still don't know what the point of the game is. I mean, but then about the time you hit level 2, you've got the political masses over here fighting amongst each other, almost to the brink of civil war. You got this political party telling the masses to do one thing, this one telling them to do the other. And what's sad is the one telling you to do the right thing gets hated on later on in level 3, like, you didn't act fast enough. But it's because this party over here was all like, no, don't do that. That's just inciting racism. And it just causes a lot of complex issues when it comes to this open world game we're living in. And then they shut down the coin generators. Like, if you're in a game and, you're doing your thing to make coins or find your collectibles or your money loot or whatever, halfway through the game, it goes from like normal to easy to hard, because now it's, most people can't even go out and collect their coins. Most people are stuck at home base, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you gotta go do all these little side quests to make your coins happen and pick up new quests, and it's not so linear anymore, and it's just like, it's like an open world game, but it's like the main quest just stops for a second until later on in the game. It's crazy, but it's okay, because if you survive past level 2, which is pretty much the restructuring, you make it to level 3, which is March, and you get the $1,200 coin eruption out of nowhere. And it's just like, yay! I made 1,200 coins! Okay, but all the shops that you would go, to buy your loot and your new gear, most of them are closed. And then some of them just aren't selling the gear, they're just selling the food and the water to replenish your character. So now you're stuck with whatever gear you have in a situation that's still escalating, still, building, and you don't know what to do. Towards the end of level 3, you get your bonus, because that was your bonus, yoo-hoo. And now, then we had levels 4, 5, and 6, which pretty much bled together, and everything just got really, it's like the filler. It's like the filler levels. It progresses the story, but you're still not sure where it's going to go. You're not sure why it's there, and player 2 joins the game, but he doesn't know where he's at with the thing, and sniffing other players' characters, and you're like, dude, what's up with this guy? He's like that little kid controlling the controller. Like, Biden is like that little kid, he's in the game, but then mom calls him, so he sets the controller down and forgets that it's an open world RPG, so his character's just sitting there and then he starts, because no one's controlling him, so he just goes into autopilot mode. And that's pretty much what the hell this world is doing. And now there's rumors of another bonus round coming up pretty quick. So I'm thinking every 3 levels you get a bonus 1,200 coin out of nowhere, and hopefully some rep, because you've got to be working to something, right? They've already opened a lot of it back up to where you can get your coins, but it's only producing half the coin. And you got to stay 6 feet away from the other characters, because if you get too close, you start to fail the mission. What the fuck is this? Is this an open world Skyrim type game, or Days Gone, or is it Metal Gear Solid, to where you have to be stealthy and stay 6 feet away from people, and don't screw up and not wear your protective covering, or you will fail the game altogether? Oh, there's a lot of rules to this one. I don't think I like it. And as we go into the second half of the game, they're bringing back the storyline from level 1 and 2 and 3. It's all about a ravaged, stricken wasteland of disease again, out of nowhere, because no one's paying attention to the last few months of the last few levels of the game, to where it was all about division, racism, and tearing down statues and saying Aunt Jemima is racist, dumb narratives that shouldn't be put in the game at all, but they are, and you don't know why. All these loopholes that are not being explained, will not be explained, and you're just going to be left going, shit, I hope the second game doesn't suck as bad as the first one. Whoo! But as we go into the latter part of 2020, I am slowly predicting what's going to happen. And my theory, and if you'll indulge me a little longer without unclicking, I believe it's going to devolve even more, and there's going to be so many, they're going to say that it's getting so much worse, even though there's nurses releasing videos on TikTok because they're bored. But those hospitals are ravaged and war-stricken right now, even though they're over there we are family, I got all my sisters and me, but there's people dying in those hospital beds, right? So I think before the last level, it's going to devolve into the point to where it's going to end with some of the main characters, not us, simple characters and you got the created characters, which is us. You got NPCs, which are the people that are just basically eating all the spoon-fed CNN nonsense. And then you have the main characters, which is, you know what? I guess we're all the main character, but you got like, let me figure out a better way to explain this. Okay, like in Skyrim, where you had the Civil War quest line, which is pretty much what we're living through. You had the Jarl who shouted down the king, and the wife took the throne, and you had this whole storyline playing out. Well, it's going to end with Joe Biden and President Trump putting on sunglasses and mowing down aliens together because the whole world is just devolved into chaos, and that's how it's going to end. And then it's going to do a prologue or an epilogue, and it's going to end with one of two. It's going to have multiple endings. Like, I haven't figured out the canonical ending yet, but hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully it ends with all of us sipping hot cocoa at the end of the year, not having to worry about mass hysteria, and everybody's just like, whoo! Can you believe it? Aliens. I'd have never known Joe Biden was an alien. What you mean? His skin slipped off his face every time he did a damn interview. And no one's dumb enough to say, if you ain't black, you ain't voting for me. Like, what? Like, the nonsensical shit that comes out of his mouth, he can't be human. Or he's just that far into senility that it's just unbearable. I mean, that's your options. I'm hoping he's an alien. Because that would make the game worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody say, like, it's going to end with the president. It's going to end Biden and Elon Musk and all these heavy hitters. And you're going to find out who's human and who's not. It's going to be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or the Skrulls if you're a Marvel nerd. And it's just going to be all-out war in a stadium somewhere. But the ending that doesn't have aliens, there's going to be several endings. The ones that don't have aliens are going to have to do with communism taking over. And then there's the third ending, which I'm hoping is a canonical ending where we're all sitting around sipping hot cocoa at the end. Like, this world is nuts. I don't even know. Like, play your cards right. Spend your coin wisely. Get the best gear and loot. And pray that 2021 is better than this. Because this, I am ready to hit the reset button. I don't like this game no more. And 12 levels of nonsense, I'm bored. I'm about to go plug in a new game and check out of this one. Seriously, Joe Biden's got to be an alien. Have you ever heard him talk? It's like, the cat's in the cradle and the Cracker Jacks are out of the bag, and yeah, like, what the fuck did he just say? What? And that's the guy y'all want to run the country? What the No! Then they poured the scotch in the Windex, and oh boy, me and Obama, we signed off on a bill and got lit on Tuesday. Huh? What? But if I'm being for real, level 6 had to have been Chaz and that whole failed thing. Like, what? A whole month of an occupied Capitol Hill autonomous zone to where there wound up being more shootings, like 3 deaths, and all kinds of nonsense. People getting mugged left and right. That's just the stuff that got reported. And you had officers and ambulances begging to get in just to help people. But no, it's all about defunding the police. Yeah. Level 6 has gotten really weird in this video game. We haven't hit reset yet. We're still just trucking through. Oh, the end is going to be really weird in this one. Oh, pray for Coco. Pray for Coco. But in all honesty, that whole Chaz thing, that whole nonsense, reminded me of a bunch of players in an MMO that just, like, they're all buddies. They all live in the same part, of the world, and they just started trying to dominate one part of the server and call it their own, pissing off all the other players that are there. And they're like, no, you're gonna give me your coins. I mean, Like in Grand Theft Auto, whenever a bunch of characters like surround a 6-block radius and just start bombing it, and they're driving tanks through. That's what Chaz reminded me of. They tried to start their own game within a game, and now you got a bunch of players that can't play no more, and that's sad. I wanted to release something for the 4th of July. Wait, is that the one? Yep. Had a Joe Biden moment. My bad, guys. But yeah. And give me a comment if you think that whole Joe Biden bullshit is basically like the abuse of an elder. Because that's just pretty sad right now.